Haven't even been home from Meekum for 24 hours. Got to hook the trailer up for the first time this year. Potential Oliver to go get. Stay tuned. Lights work. Tabs are expired. Wife's mad. I think we're ready to go. We're getting closer. We're within 6 minutes of arrival. Well, look what made it home. So my brother and I ran out. Just seen this posted yesterday. I caught it with only a couple hours being listed on Marketplace. So I grabbed the Ranger. That was a way to pull this thing up on the trailer. And got a good look at this. Really surprised. This thing has got to be a super low hour unit. No wear in the drawbar pin. Out of all the Olivers I've been using ever since I was a kid growing up, I haven't ever felt any that have been this tight. He thought it was a low hour tractor, and like the shifter and everything, it is so, there's no slop at all in any of this stuff. It's just like friction fit tight. Hydraulics, pretty straight tractor. It's been resprayed. They did like a rattle can paint job on it, but it is stuck from setting. So it's been parked for 3 years, and it used to been, they ran it occasionally. So we're gonna roll this off, get to work on it, and see what we can do to get it running. So kind of fun. These aren't real common. There's quite a, regular 66s around, but the supers, and this was an original green wheel tractor too. So she doesn't run now, but hopefully won't take too long. I'll take you through the process. Well, this is progressing rapidly. Starting with the muffler not clearing my cute little garage here, that had to get ripped apart, and that's easier to do with the hood off. So I just started digging in, getting all these fasteners loose. Definitely some signs of a lot of condensation from years of being stored. She's definitely stuck. Got into some of these plugs. You can see there's some rust in there, like one of the valves is being held open. So got them apart and soaking. And there is a couple of stuck valves. I started tapping on them with a dead blow. That one is still hanging down. There's another one too that was kind of stuck. We sprayed it with some Freol, and we're working them. So I'm hoping that that other one pops loose and we can get this thing freed up. I'm gonna get the carb apart, clean that up. Looks like there's some water in the gas. When I looked in the tank there, you could see the stuff on the bottom. See where we end up. So maybe we can get this loose and get close to a first start attempt, and then get her good and hot and see if it'll run. One brake's hanging a little bit too. We'll be back. Well, ended up taking the tank out. That's what was in it. Tried to drain it. Of course the sediment bowl wouldn't hold up to ethanol. But it's pretty nasty. There's some water in there. So kind of getting some of this started, cleaned up. Carb's gotta come off. I'll soak that, and gotta be patient now and let these soak a little while. I think that's what we'll leave her for today. Hopefully get back on it by the end of the week. Figured I'd do end of the day wrap up, being that I was just trying to shoot little bits and pieces of this without really explaining what's going on. Kind of last minute found this listing. The supers are less common than the regulars. You don't see them come up all that often. So we decided to go take a look. This tractor was in exceptionally nice shape. Sheet metal wise, the hood, there wasn't a ton of holes in it. Everything was pretty good. All the normal wear spots indicate that it is a low hour machine. This was bought as a project. This tractor was not running, and we knew that when we bought it. it had been sitting for 3 years since the last time it was run, and before that it was just run occasionally, never really used. So there's a lot of signs that, you know, condensate, like rust, you know, from the water condensing, sitting in a shed. You can even see it in the gauges. This tractor came from a farm family in Northwest Illinois. One of the grandkids ended up moving out here pretty close to where I am, and him and his cousins got some of the tractors that their grandma had, and this was one that he had kept. Had been in the family for many years, and he just didn't have room or time for it anymore. So the Supers were built from 1954 to 1958, and this was an improvement on the regular row crop 66. These are one of the fewer Olivers that have like a 4-cylinder in them. This is a 144 cubic inch little 4-cylinder gas, rated at 32 or 33 PTO horsepower. It's just like the other fleet lines and Supers. It's got a high and low neutral, 6 gears. This one's kind of unique. I think we only have one other tractor, but this was set up with a hydroelectric, where you could like set collars on your hydraulics, and then you could basically set your depth. You know, when you come to an end of an end row and you turn around, and you have to kind of fish and look with your eyes to figure where you could set your depth, and then basically hit a lever and then automatically have it stop at that depth. And you got the wires that run out, these guys here. So that's kind of neat, even having hydraulics. This is a 55. So we got some work to do. Hopefully she comes around pretty quick. And also came with a repop of the owner's manual, which has some pretty cool graphics in it. Kind of shows you all the controls and the features. You'd have the extra tack. And one of the warnings that made me laugh was slip to it. The graph. Never operate engine in closed shed or garage. And it warns you not to start in gear. You know, a graphic of the tractor running up a tree. All things from an era long gone. So that's the story of this one. I'll make a few videos of this one. I typically don't video projects because the amount of work it does and how slow I move on them, and I usually do my filming with a phone, so you get a call, your hands are greasy, it's always tough to get a shot, but we'll follow along when this one gets loose, and then the first time we get it fired up, and hopefully the rings seat nice again, and we don't have to rip it apart and do an overhaul on it. So stay tuned. Catch you later.